Hello once again, my friends. I'm glad you've chosen to join me once again. Or if this is your first time, welcome to the show. My name is The Voices in Your Headphones. If you're unfamiliar with my content, I discuss various works in the horror community, mistakes to avoid while making a story, actions you shouldn't take as a creator, or simply looking into unsolved mysteries. Now that last one is something we're going to be touching on. In my last video, I said the nature of art is sucking at something until you don't. One thing I will always preach is that people can improve and learn from their mistakes, which is something I'm going to do here. For context, about a year ago, I made a video discussing a video series called SNCH. It was my first video that I properly made and put serious effort into. Frankly, it's not very good. I didn't do much research, the audio mixing is terrible, my inflection is that of a bored kid reading a presentation, and I borrowed a rather large section of a video by Gooseboost. I had his permission to do so, but come on man. If you're going to recycle someone else's thoughts, at least put your own spin on it instead of just using their content wholesale. So I'm going to go back and give this series the view it properly deserves, and add a few corrections from my old video. So, all in all, I'm considering this a shredded redux. If you've seen the first version of this video, you may get a fair bit of repeated content, just a warning. If you haven't, I want to welcome you. Let's get a record spinning and discuss SNCH. The first thing I want to rectify is that I improperly labeled the series. I referred to it as an alternative reality game, when frankly, that's not entirely true. ARGs are works of fiction that typically rely on audience participation to affect the events in the story. While this series does take some effort on the part of the viewer to translate the names of the titles and draw conclusions of the sparse story, it doesn't take audience participation into account. Instead of being called an alternative reality game, it fits better being referred to as a piece of unfiction. Now, to talk about the series proper, just like last time, we're going to be watching the entire series as it clocks in just above 10 minutes of running time. It shall be broken up into different segments, and then discuss the events at the end. Now that I've wasted this much time in the preamble, let's finally get it rolling. The series started on May 30th of 2015. The entire first season, for lack of a better word, was uploaded on the same day, and every video was broken up into roughly 10-second clips. They were all compiled into a playlist called SSNCHH, showing the events in chronological order. The most striking part of the first season is the titles. Each title is a string of 19 numbers, except these two, for some reason, are only 18 numbers long. Seeing as the second season titles are in base 64, I had to assume this was some kind of encoding. I genuinely tried my best to get this cracked. While I'm not exactly the most savvy when it comes to code breaking, I employed a bit of help. I had a software engineer, a systems administrator, and even a military networking operator take a crack at it with me, and with their combined help, we all came to the stunning conclusion that, yeah, we got nothing. Frankly speaking, with that level of combined help turning up no results, as well as not being able to find anything online about anybody else cracking it, I'm starting to think that these numbers just don't mean anything. This might not even be a cipher. Here's why I say that. Assuming this is some kind of number cipher, literally any at all, the numbers wouldn't be so uniform. Unless they went out of their way to pick words that managed to become the exact same number of digits each time, barring the exception of the two titles missing a digit, they shouldn't be all exactly 19 digits long. Continuing with that, the numbers just don't have any consistency. In a ciphered message, there would be some kind of system. Each number would be in relation to something that eventually leads back to a letter. Even a scrambled number of letters, you can start recognizing patterns. In this case, there simply isn't one. So I'm going to make the judgment call of saying these mean actually nothing at all. That kind of takes the wind out of my sails, but hey, what can you do? With the title set aside, let's get to the videos themselves. Starting with the first segment, we have a few guys in a car just hanging out. Let's play these out.
Sent our friend in there to get alcohol. He's surrounded.
What are we, 15?
This is the jungle of Lehigh. The worst of the worst, David.
Whoa, look at the fucking mall in the Cyberhead. Dude, look at the mall
That's
in the Cyberhead.
mean to say.
What do you mean?
I'm not.
She's the nicest lady that walked in there, I bet. Oh.
Probably.
He made it!
He's here! He's gonna make. I gotta put unlock. There you go. He's got it. He's got the stuff. Hey!
Let's go falsetto.
Yep.
Wait, what?
I think you're toned down. I'm just gonna record random things and see if something happens. It's funny. It's gonna be 100 of these videos. Hey, we did.
My baby left me. Wanna have a new place to dwell. It's down at the end.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I like that.
Heartbreak Hotel.
And you wish upon a
No, I thought we were doing Heartbreak Hotel.
Heartbreak. I don't know the thing to Heartbreak
That's
Hotel.
what you make your own lyrics, you dipshit.
I don't. What is the stupidest thing you guys have ever done, like in public, like in retail or like at a restaurant?
Embarrassing or just
Embarrassing.
Oh god, I'm sure Mason's is.
Nothing to really comment on for the videos themselves, but I do find the driver, who we will later identify as Tyler, choice of song to be interesting. Heartbreak Hotel by Elvis Presley, a song about someone's lover who left them. Before continuing with the next set of videos, I want to refer back to something I said in the last one about their comment of the Jungle of Lehigh. Yeah, so like, I'm kind of dumb. No, them saying the Jungle of Lehigh like it means something. Yeah, that's because it does. So Lehigh is in Florida, which is where the series takes place. You can even confirm it by the second season showing them going to a grocery store, and it's right here on Google Maps. I'd like to thank Joe Matthews for pointing that out to me, and publicly outing me as a certified dunce. Now, moving on to the next set of videos, we have this odd occurrence.
Playing
We're
really?
gonna shuffle these and we're gonna do our little objectives. We're gonna do it
Did you guys hear that?
What is that?
I don't know, it's like making a really bright dude. It's like starting to like wig out.
Unplug it, unplug it. It only affects Tyler. Boom, boom, do it.
What the fuck, dude? I don't, dude, I have no idea. Whoa, what the fuck? It's like Ghostbusters.
Charlie, are you there?
Dude,
Charlie, are you there?
Charlie, are you there?
Charlie!
I don't know, man.
What the fuck is still on?
Why is
It's moving.
now it's gone? It's moving.
The fuck?
Clearly, we have something a bit strange going on with this baby radio. A form of interference comes crackling through anytime it gets near Tyler, and only Tyler. Of course, the boys don't take this all too seriously, even if they question why there's a radio there. They simply mess around with it for a while before returning to their night. At least until something demands their attention.
She was right below Florida. All we would have to do is take a boat down to Cuba.
My camera's like, what the fuck, dude? Holy shit! What the f, dude? Like, holy shit! I have no fucking clue. I'm not checking that fucking door, dude. I'm not fucking checking that door, dude. You're so fucking brave right now. Holy shit! What did? No, dude. No. Fuck that, dude. No. Fuck that. What did you see? What did you see? It's the fucking like. Fuck, man.
What the fuck is going on?
Dude, what the fuck?
Out of place?
My camera's off, dude. The fucking screen's like completely black, dude. No, it's completely black. I'm so. Oh, dude, I'm getting the fuck. Move. I have no idea, man. I didn't see anything.
Now we have a lot to unpack here. Let's start with the most obvious things and work our way down. The most obvious thing is the face in the window that ducks away. A very strange face with scant details that we can't make out, simply looking like the top of a skull. Though this video in particular holds far more things happening all at once, that's very easy to overlook. The second thing to point out is the audio. As Tyler enters the room, there's a sudden change in audio quality. It's quite subtle and easy to miss, but a static hum starts as soon as he enters the garage.
Fuck, man.
What the fuck is going on?
Dude, what the fuck?
Out of place?
Something that sounds like a keyed up radio, which is only given credence by the sudden extra voice. Listen closely, and I'll try to subtitle the words to the best of my ability.
My camera's off, dude. The fucking screen's like complete.
While I can't make out too much of what's said, the voice sounds quite familiar. If I had to hazard a guess, this voice just might be Tyler's. It may be a stretch, but it sounds the most like a speech pattern. What's more curious is that it sounds like it's giving him a warning. The last thing worth pointing out is likely the easiest to miss, and you'll be forgiven for doing so, as it's quite literally a background element. While your eyes are drawn to the figure in the window, take a moment to notice what's framing it. Toys. Children's toys. One has to wonder why Tyler has these. Do mind that his friends were confused by the presence of a baby radio. On top of that, we've seen no hint that Tyler has any kind of family. Keep note of this, as we will be coming back to it. The other interesting video is the one that's just black screen and noise. There isn't much I can say here, but one thing did catch my attention. It may be jumping to conclusions, but my first thought was to run the audio through a spectrogram. After all, when all you're presented with is sound, you have to dig into it somehow. And I think I found something interesting. Now, to preface, I will say this is likely one of the biggest stretches I can go for, but here's what a normal spectrogram looks like. As you can see, it's nothing. It's noise. It's a visual sound, though some clever types like to go around and hide images within sound. For example, here's something from the Doom soundtrack, depicting a repeating 666 in a pentagram. Or here, this strange sound from Cuphead will reveal the devil character. So what does this mean for a story here? Well, I feel like there's an image hidden here in the haze of sound. While I can't make anything up proper, doesn't it look like there's something trying to form within the haze? I've tried messing with the audio to clear it up, reverse it, just anything to try and see if I can get a clearer image. While I can't, and this doesn't really reveal anything, I do find it quite interesting. Especially as this isn't the first time the series is going to have a black image full of sound. Though that wraps that up for the first season. It's a quite simple story of boys just messing around until something spooky ruins the fun. While that's all well and good, we've only covered half of it. After all these videos were uploaded, the channel went back to silence. At least until a year later. On the 1st of May 2016, the channel surged with life once again. Just like last time, a scattershot of videos were released at the same time. Thankfully, the playlist once again shows the events in chronological order. Also thankfully, this time the video titles are actually possible to translate, being in base 64. In order, the titles of the videos are Limbo, Forgotten, Typhon, Gate, Child, Pride, Sloth, Lust, Leviathan, Styx, and Where is Your Daughter? There's a theme going on in these titles. The most obvious are the cardinal sins, though there's also a bit of focusing on Greek mythology, such as Styx, Typhon, and Leviathan. The three outliers can't be placed in a category are Limbo, Child, and Gate, though the ones that stick out the most are the final 4 videos, as they don't evoke any kind of idea, but instead pose a question. A very specific question that we'll try to answer by looking through these videos. The first set is Limbo through Pride, which shows the group once again spending the day together.
Yeah, it's like French. Yeah, it's like French.
Why don't they just say French?
Because it's like a.
There's different words that French people.
Yeah,
So
it's like a.
It's like Portuguese to like Spanish.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's stupid. Languages suck. There we go. The window.
I don't know if they know I'm looking or they know I'm looking. Oh! Oh, it's a little. There's a little hand. Look, there's 2 little hands. Oh, they're knocking. Wave.
I think she's in trouble.
Maybe she is in trouble.
No, if you were in trouble, you should knock a lot harder.
Maybe she can't make noise.
Throw it over here. I want to catch. Oh, damn. Damn. Kinky's like, damn. She's like a goddamn cheetah. Run, little gazelle. They're totally playing like Toro. That's like the little red cape. God, do you want him? Kiki. Cosmos. Come on. Climb through this tiny little hole. No. So freaking hot out.
This is also good too. I think the dog's tired out, so while we're drinking, it'll be nice and tired.
Jump on me again.
That's your fault. You don't take command. You're a little bitch too.
Mason's still out there?
Yeah.
Why, you want inside? Come on. As you get trampled by another dog. Hey, you ready to go get drinks? Huh? Yeah, alright. Let's go.
This season already has some strange bits right from the start. During Forgotten, we see a pair of hands in the neighbor's window, simply beckoning for attention, something that gets easily laughed off by the group. The next few stretch from Sloth to Leviathan.
So this is what happens when we're gonna go get drinks.
Wait,
What?
he's gotta get the boss first. He promised me.
He's not gonna get the boss.
Ooh!
You got this. Aim for the butt. Aim for the butt. Oh, he knows. Lion Knight Albert. Oh! He's almost done. He's almost done. Come on, he's so close. He's so close. Come on, come on, come on. Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? Oh! Oh no!
Not going to lie, there's not really much to pick apart here. It's just small deviation of plans and a bit more wasting time. The last videos that fit nicely into a little stretch go from sticks to Ure.
For the time being, until everything like kind of, I don't know, man. I don't really want to talk about it. Yeah, it's just a lot of weird
If I
shit
didn't
that's
have,
going on.
if I didn't have
A lot of
4
weird
dogs,
shit that, you
then
know,
I
we
was
were like
worried.
the cause of. We were the cause, and we made. Oh my God, there's Katie and Sarah and. Oh shit! Get back,
We
right?
needed some beer out here. We need a cup, we're gonna drink. I know it's Saturday, but it's low time.
See ya.
That's why you got baseball.
Is it called Wild Blue? Why don't you just get it? It's
You
right
need to
here.
get some glasses.
I didn't even look. Is that the first time you looked?
That was the first time I looked.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, all the time I was walking up and down here, I really wasn't looking at it.
I wasn't paying
So
attention.
I was just waiting for him to figure out his own thing.
It's all just like a blur.
See, all three of us get one thing that we like.
house.
Don't you be that guy.
I offered to get food, but you guys didn't listen to me. It's not my fault you never fucking hear me.
I really want these.
Badass. He's crying. What a loser.
See, now you're a mean cameraman.
I am a mean cameraman because this guy's a mean asshole.
All of those hips.
Oh. She was asking what shirt I had on.
The shirt?
Yeah. She's like, is that regular show?
Where's Mason?
We found his baby bottle. We're not gonna wait out here for Mason, are we? Oh, he's outside already.
You got another freaking thing of soap, didn't we?
Yeah.
toads.
And still on my bottom.
Oh, okay.
Now, there's a couple of things to unpack here. The first and most prominent is the fact that we have a new cameraman. Instead of Tyler, we get unnamed Best Buy guy holding the camera and finally get a chance to see what Tyler looks like. Now, the first takeaway here is right at the start.
I don't really want to talk about it. Yeah, it's just a lot of weird
If I
shit that's
didn't
going
have,
on.
if I didn't have
A lot of
4
weird
dogs,
shit that, you
then
know,
I
we
was
were like
worried.
the cause of. We were the cause, and we made. Oh my God, there's Katie and Sarah.
While we don't get the broader context, we get Tyler saying that they were the cause of something and not wanting to talk about it, while Mason brings up his dogs as a type of example. The next notable thing here is the video titled Ure. Upon exiting the store, the cameraman points out to Tyler a baby bottle, though while he was taking the opportunity to make a joke at Mason's expense, Tyler goes out of his way to completely ignore the comment, or rather ignore the bottle itself. Though that was the last video that fits neatly into a set, we have one more to look at in the playlist. A video whose name translates to daughter. After all is said and done, the boys are back home and playing Monopoly. Though, like the last time they were playing a board game, their fun is suddenly interrupted.
Alright, this is fucking bullshit. Every time we play this goddamn game,
We're not gonna form an alliance.
Together and
We're not gonna form an alliance.
You can't
No,
form a goddamn
but it's
alliance.
Monopoly. You can do that.
You can't
It's
do
fine.
that. You can't.
Yes, you. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Get back here! Whoa,
What the fuck was that?
I found my
What the fuck was that? What the fuck your phone, dude? Fuck your phone,
My
dude.
phone.
Dude, the fucking door just got ripped off the fucking room. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god, it's outside the door. It's outside the door.
Unlike the last video where the haunted creature comes and goes without notice, this time it's far more direct. The doors are ripped from the hinges and the boys go hide in the dark. Light spills into the room and the door is slowly opened until nothing. That's the end of the series. There is one more video that was uploaded a month later, but we're gonna touch on that shortly. For the time being, let's take a look at these titles and try and see how they relate to the videos themselves. The first entry is Limbo, which shares the title of the playlist. This can be taken in a few separate ways. The first is that we're back where we were once again, stuck in a new cycle of the same old thing. Once again, a day spent with friends being interrupted by a paranormal occurrence. Though it might not be the boys stuck in this limbo. The next is Forgotten. The odd occurrence of hands sticking through the window, blinds, almost beckoning for attention. Something that goes laughed off and likely forgotten without a second thought. The next is Typhon. Typhon is a figure from Greek mythology. What's most notable for us is that he's the father of beasts, from the Chimera to Hydra to Cerberus. So how does this relate to what we're seeing? The focus of this video is Mason and his dogs, whom he takes a very parental role over. In this case, Mason may be our Typhon. Then comes Gate. This one's pretty easy. Tyler makes no attempt to interact with the dogs, and as they begin to approach him, he places a barrier between them. Going by the literal definition of a gate, a hinged barrier used to close an opening in a wall or fence. A screen door can be called a gate. Coming up as Child, in which we see Tyler at least making an attempt to interact with the dog, but not directly. He only seems comfortable enough to try when there's some kind of division between him and the dog. If Mason's their Typhon, the dogs are his children. As for pride, I really got nothing. Let's just say Mason is proud of his dogs. Not all of these have an obvious meaning. Coming to Sloth, the connection here is quite obvious. Instead of going out and doing what they intended, they spend a bit of time being lazy playing games instead. Lust is another one where I can't really give a meaning to. Then is Leviathan, another one without a clear connection. If I really wanted to stretch it, I'd say it could be referring to the events of the game, though a Leviathan is a biblical sea creature and I don't see the relation with an icy monstrosity from Dark Souls. Now, for the next few videos, the titles don't relate to any specific occurrences in the video, but instead what they're leading to. Styx refers to the river Styx, another element in Greek mythology, a river that takes you to the afterlife. This trip to the store is the last thing that Tyler and his friends did, as far as we know. This can be their Styx, leading them straight to the end. Then the last few titles have nothing to do with the ongoings, except for the very last video. Instead, they pose a question. Once again, where is your daughter? Daughter is when the group is attacked by whatever paranormal force is following them. Why is that so important? Well, let's take a look at the last video the channel uploaded. Nothing. Just noise and a black screen. Though, trying our little spectrogram trick again actually reveals something this time. A man and a woman. The man bears a striking resemblance to Tyler. Looking in the back, we see a crib. Tyler had a wife and child. Something we have never been told until now, but something that's been hinted at quite heavily. Recall back to Season 1, his song of choice, Heartbreak Hotel, a song about being left. The baby monitored his house that reacted only to him. The children's toys in the garage, yet seemingly no child to take care of. And what about the video's title? A ghost that's typically the result of a woman dying during childbirth, though some say it's a woman who was unable to birth her stillborn child. So what does this mean for the series? Well, here's my take on things. While I don't think the ghost in the series is a Pontiac proper, In my previous assessment, I looked too deep into idle comments and made assumptions that Tyler is a bad person who lost his family through actions. Looking deeper, I no longer believe that to be the case. We can't really use anything besides a few joke comments to make out what kind of person he is, so his friends calling him an asshole can't be taken too seriously. Regardless of what we do or don't know about him, he's someone that lost something. Family. Even if it never came up, it's clearly something that he's kept with him, along with the children's toys and the baby monitor. Yet still, it's not something he brings up. He's gone out of his way to avoid talking about any subject that brings up responsibility over something, ignores when a baby bottle is pointed out to him, and laughs at the idea of the neighbor kid being in trouble. Tyler may be clinging to the memories while trying his best to forget at the same time. Unfortunately for him, something else didn't forget. My first guess, which the video being titled Pontiac, it may be his wife. Though I've got the suspicion it might be more than that. It may also be his child. The first time the haunting comes by, it's in a way that's very non-hostile. It shows itself through a baby monitor and is surrounded by toys. When it's shown, Tyler makes this comment.
My camera's off, dude. The fucking screen's like completely black, dude. No, it's completely black.
Either he was too occupied by the camera to notice the figure in the window, or he did what he always does with the reminders of his child. Ignore it until it goes away, which works for the time being. Then comes the second season. The titles of the videos come off as quite damning, do they not? At the most generous, they're comparing the group to monsters and reminding them of their sins. At the worst, they're reminding you of aspects of death and asking a question that would almost assuredly affect Tyler. It almost comes off as vengeful, something that refuses to be forgotten. And when it was ignored for too long, well...
Oh my gosh!
So what do I think the SNCH is? Frankly put, I think it's just a fascinating short story. Not an ARG like I initially thought it was. Not something you should expect a comeback of. Simply a short story that told its piece and left. A story about a man who lost his family, tried to ignore it, and then faced the consequences. While there's a few loose ends that can be picked at, I think it said all it wanted to and we should appreciate it for what it is. I don't think it's an accident that the game they chose to show was Dark Souls, as it uses the same approach to storytelling. It gives you something up front and doesn't explain anything. It relies on you doing your own digging and drawing conclusions. A type of storytelling I very much appreciate. Though with this story being done, I think it's time to close the book and move on to the next one. Hey there friends, I just wanted to say thank you for tuning in and watching once again. I appreciate everybody that's subscribed and hope that I'm making adequate content for you all, as I'm happy making it. I wanted to give a remake to my look at SNCH because I felt my first video simply wasn't good enough for people, and I wanted to make it better. I thank everybody for the viewership and support, but I want to thank Squeaks to Corgi and Crest in particular for being my first Patreon members. I also want to point out that I have a Discord. As small as it is now, it's filled with people that I very much enjoy talking to and seeing their own creative efforts. If you want to join that, there will be a link in the description. I hope to see some new faces. One of my greatest pleasures is seeing a community, and I hope to foster one for all of you horror-loving weirdos. With that being said and done, this has been the Voices in Your Headphones. I've talked long enough. Don't worry though, when you write your loneliest, I'll come crawling from the back of your mind once again. Have a good night, and know that the voices love you.